قال الألوى Howard لا يهوى Hashem Yoshai Hashem Kakutash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule and teach well. Peace and salutations to the brothers on the four corners of this earth, pushing this word in truth, also in sincerity. But Matters are here with another short video. You know what I mean? This one, you know what I mean? It'll be short, of course, but this one is about local. You understand? The shit hitting the fan locally, which I call a lal or Howard Laya or Basham Yoshai Basham Kodash for that, because these people in murd by the murd don't cease with these people by regardless of what, right? They don't cease any little inch the fucking government get them, they take a yard and feeling we, you know what I mean, everything good, everything smooth, everything. But this one, if this come to fruition, they will feel it. Right? It's an economist won $9 exchange rate, a dangerous move for TNT. It says several economists are saying it would be a dangerous move for this country's economy to raise the exchange rate of the US dollar from TT $6.79 to $9. They say such an adjustment without solving structural economic issues in Trinidad and Tobago will not augur well. Professor Patrick Watson strongly opposes the idea of a direct devaluation to $9. Drawing from the experiences of other Caribbean nations like Jamaica and Guyana, he warned that such a move often triggers a speculative spiral. He said once a signal is sent that the devaluation is capable, everybody will start thinking that this thing will just get worse, prompting hoarding and speculation, which I could understand. Watson said this can drive the exchange rate well beyond the intended $9, perhaps even up to 20, as seen in Jamaica's history, where the dollar spiraled from Jamaica $9 to over Jamaica $150 per US dollar. He insisted that the textbook theory of devaluation improving exports does not apply in TNT's case because nobody wants our goods. Facts. He explained that because the country remains heavily reliant on oil and gas commodities priced in US, devaluation simply earns more TT dollars for the same US dollar revenue without increasing total foreign earnings. Meanwhile, Watson said imports become significantly more expensive, hurting consumers. He emphasized the lack of diversification as the real root of the forex crisis. We are a foreign exchange losing country, Watson said bluntly. Large forex consumers like PriceMart, which who don't know is like PriceMart is a subsidiary of Costco, is like the Caribbean Costco, right? So it's the same thing they have in America, the same concept now. You know what I mean? Wholesale shopping kind of flick. Yeah, your little cafeteria you can sit down and eat there. Basically, Costco, but for like South America, Caribbean area, right? Nevertheless, it says he explained that because the country remains heavily reliant on, well, I read already, where are we trying? Large for consumers like PriceMart, he outlined do not earn forex but still demand it, creates a balance that cannot be fixed by simply adjusting the rate unless TNT creates and exports more of what the world wants. Devaluation will only worsen cost of living pressures without addressing an underlying problem, he said. And now let me bring up a reference, right? So like in Jamaica where, you know what I mean, the crime rate is extremely high. Even though yes, we crime rate extremely high as already, as an murders, bloodshed in Jamaica. You know what I mean? It have like how there will be no middle class. Like what they wanted to do. Like what the new world order, you know what I mean? Before they bring that one world movement, they want to obliterate the middle class. So they will just be poor and rich. Right? It says Dr. Ralph Henry said the TT dollar had already depreciated in practice, even if the official rate has not changed. He explained there is a dual market, which is true, with the official exchange rate around TT $6.80 and the de facto market rate of $7.50 or more. Alright, so the de facto market is like on the black market. So like we have Chinese groceries owned by Chinese people, and they would use an exchange rate of 750. And then like if you know somebody, you know what I mean, they might use an exchange rate of $8, $80 to $1. You know what I mean? That way I mean it already have a de facto market, it already like a black market. And I don't want to say black market, but you know what I mean? Something on the side. And not an unofficial market there. I'll put it like that. Henry said this said in this context, Elias call merely formalizes what is already happening informally. However, he cautioned that pushing the rate to $9 would cause serious inflationary effects, particularly in a highly import dependent society, which is true. He's a fucking whoever want to raise this is a madman. Then again, the world is given into the hand of the wicked. He advocated instead for a managed float where the exchange rate is adjusted more frequently in small increments based on market conditions. This, he said, would prevent the kind of massive sudden shocks that a large devaluation could trigger. Henry said TNT's forex exchange problem is tied directly to declining oil and gas production and insufficient foreign revenue from other sectors. Which the other man said, rely too much on oil and gas, so whenever that fuck up, we fuck up. And it have no diversification on the market. Until then, the country's reliance on imports, even for everyday items like fast food and coffee, which is true, will continue to leak foreign currency from the system. And we explained. Meanwhile, economist Dr. Justin Ram, in contrast, supports depreciation but not for speculative or reactive reasons. Instead, he views the exchange rate as a critical price signal that tells the economy whether it should be consuming or producing. For the last 15 years, he argued, the TT dollar has been overvalued, encouraging a consumption based economy flooded with imports rather than increasing domestic production. Ram believes the exchange rate should reflect economy fundamentals and production capacity. A higher rate, in his view, would make local production more competitive, reduce reliance on imports, and encourage exports. He sees this as central not just to economic reform but also to social well-being. If we are to give people, what did I do? Then it is imperative that Trinidad production economy, Ram said. Another economist and former senator, Tahakwa Obika, I never hear that person's name in my life, noted that this would disproportionately hurt pensioners, minimum wage workers, students, and the 500,000 plus labor force members who earn fixed incomes, effectively cutting the value of their salaries and savings by 30%. Obika rejected the notion that the market will settle at $9, highlighting the lack of evidence and the likely escalation of the black market rate to $10 and or more, which would happen here, as I told you. I mean the outside market, no, this is not the official market, right? Because it's easier to get the US dollar on the on the streets rather than in the bank. Paying the bank is just a formality. Why you need it, where you're going, if you're going on business or vacation, and why you need so much on here. So nobody does that. People go outside by the Chinese and spend the extra, but just to secure the dollar itself, right? Right. So I'm gonna get my first precept here. Yeah, it's a long time. This one ahead. Right. So for those who do not know, I'm not going into it too much, but the word economy means housekeeper or keeping of the house, right? Is it 12? 12 and 3. Okay. 12 and 3. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house or the economists, right? Because I think what they're going to do is go back into Greek and something will econ be in house or something like that. You'll do that is all your homework. Look into the word economy, right? Economy means keeping of the house, so therefore economist is the keeper of the house. So it's saying the day when the keepers of the house tremble, like today, And the strong men shall bow themselves. Yeah, people, the strong men, like, you know what I mean, strong within financial grounds, because this precept is not just about strong as in literal might, right? It says shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, meaning what? Work, because they are few. You understand? It have few workers, so the grinders they will stop working, because who the fuck want to do all that? And then when they get the salary, as they say, it will cut the fucking 500,000 plus labor force members' earnings and savings by 30% if this go up, right? And the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Yeah, it will what be darkened when if it were what is fair. Yeah, understand? You know, yes, no hope, no light. You understand? No hope. Right? They say, and the door shall be shut in the street, and the song that the garden is low, yeah, no work. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Right? So basically, the point earlier is in verse 3. Right? They say, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, which is that day. Now, these another sign of what? Of the latter times. Valuation of the dollar. Because they want to come out of the using the dollar on the whole. You understand? The economy will spiral, the society will spiral out of control. Crime will be at a peak, prime, all time high. It wouldn't be higher than how it could be if this is what they decide to do with the dollar. Right? Anytime this passes, hey, it's problems. And it done not easy already. It is difficult. You understand? It is difficult. I am telling you, it is difficult. Right? Without divine intervention, according to Brother Yaraba. Hey, couple smoke we pipe by. If it wasn't for the Lord, where would we be, by? Where would we be? Alright? I'm gonna go to the next precept here. Is it Micah 2:1? Yeah, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. And the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Yeah. In the power of their hand to say, hey, the US dollar is now worth $9 TT, and crash the fucking market. You understand? Increase inflation. Like in Jamaica, as they say right now, the US exchange rate in Jamaica is 150 Jamaican to 1 US. Right? Right now in Jamaica, a bag of bread is 100, 150. You get what I'm saying? Yeah? Right? In Trinidad, you could still get a bread for yourself for $5. You understand? You could still get a bread for $5. In Jamaica, it's $100. Is the cheapest bread, and not under 100. You will starve. Yeah, when you listen to Jamaican songs and a man say, man, 30,000 on the light bill, and think you want to know about how them spending 30,000 on light bill, because the dollar has devalued tremendously. You understand that why you find the the, the the lower class of society going into all kind of nefarious things just to survive. They're pushing them towards that, you know, pushing them towards that. Yeah, and they covered fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away, so that they oppress a man. Yeah, this will oppress your household even more, because hey, we already in captivity being fucking oppressed. So this will oppress your household even more. You understand? Even more than it already being messed up. It's going to be messed up even more. Anytime this come to fruition, and hey, the way things going is I honestly believe there's a good chance this will happen. As I say, we's a consumer economy, we don't produce shit. Jack shit. All we was good for was oil, and that and all is a iffy situation right now. You know? So in time to come, you know what I mean? By you know what they're going to do, you know? Sunday the scripture talk about when the hunger my servant shall eat, and when the thirst my servant shall drink. You understand? Because that will want people will be starving on the streets, they're going to have an increase of homeless people. You understand? Talking about the savings will be cut by 30%. How much fucking are the people in my around my age are savings? It's already so fucking hard to live. You understand? It's already so hard to live, and they're making it more and increasingly more and more difficult by. That being said, let me hit you with the, you know what I mean? You know where I'm going with this. Revelation 12 and 12. It's therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time here. This is great wrath. This is draconian laws. This is a stem of great wrath. Yeah. So with that, I hope I spark food for thought to the Akim listen. Right? To the spirit and power, Yahweh Bashem, Yoshai Bashem, Kakodash. Until next time, Shalom.